Chris.
American music has had a resurgence and so forth. And, you know, every now and then people begin to remember again what's great about American music or about America in general. You know, sometimes we can forget or take it for granted or something like that. But, you know, now it's coming around again. People are realizing, you know, all the great old stuff, you know, like Jason and the Scorchers doing a Hank Williams tune, for instance. You know, I think that's great.
That resurgence of American music is coming from bands like the Del Lords, the Del Fuegos, R.E.M. and the Smithereens, bands ready to sweat it out in small clubs, playing hard-driving rock and roll just because they believe in it and not because some trendy magazine says it's the next big thing. Scott Kempner, the lead singer for the Del Lords, was a founding member of a 1977 punk band called the Dictators until he formed the Del Lords. In 1984, they released an album called Frontier Days and a video, How Can a Poor Man Stand Such Times and Live?
How can a poor man stand such times and live? How can a poor man stand such times and live? How can a poor man stand such times and live? I give all I got to give, I get my pay and say, is this it? How can a poor man stand such times and live?
Last year, the Del Lords released their second album, Johnny Comes Marching Home. It was produced by Pat Benatar's husband, guitarist, and producer, Neil Giraldo. And the latest video from that album is Heaven.
You have to be tough. And this is just a reminder to me, to myself. We shall endure.
All right. Okay, that out of the way.
It's my motto for life, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I just had to know that. But now I'll ask you about the album, which is ultimately why you're here, not your tattoo.
Right.
Neil Giraldo produced it. How did you hook up with Neil, Pat Benatar's husband and producer?
Well, we were, at the time, we were looking for a producer, and we wanted him on the first album, but we knew that we were, like, financially embarrassed, you know, and we couldn't ask him because we didn't have enough dough. But then when the second album, we know a couple guys in their band, and we were shooting tapes to him every once in a while, and right around when we turned in our list of producers, we had it all written down here, like, Neil Giraldo, and then there's like 5 other guys down here in small print. And actually turned out, it's, as with all our stuff, there's a lot of divine intervention goes down with our thing. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. And actually the same day that we turned the list in, Neil Giraldo calls up EMI and said, what's with the Del Lords? You know, I'd actually like to produce their record, you know. I think I could stomach hanging out with these guys for 2 whole months. And it came together, since he wanted it, you know, it like came together like pronto.
None of this is true. Neil wanted to know how Eric plays the guitar the way he does.
The only way he could do it was to produce the album, then I would show him. I showed him a couple of things. You know.
Oh, really? Showed him the ropes, helped him out a little bit, a few pointers. We're going to take a look at your video in just a little bit. We'll talk about that. More with Del Lords coming up, and we also have more videos on the way. Eurythmics, Rod Stewart, amongst others. So we'll continue on. About Manny's tattoo. Manny and Eric Amble. Mary's over there.
The best part was when I put the bandage on, leaving the tattoo parlor, and all the A&D ointment was oozing out, and I went to this little antique shop, and they thought I got shot or something, and this A&D is oozing down my arm, and the lady freaked out.
What's A&D? You
know, it's like gooey ointment.
Okay.
You put on there.
Good enough.
And it's just dripping out. It looked like pus.
Oh, Manny. That's so West Side.
I live on the East Side.
And we are here on MTV finding out more about the Del Lords than I think we ever really wanted to know. We saw your video, Heaven, a little earlier, and it's a beautiful video. Tell me a little bit about it. It was
so fun. I couldn't believe, you know, we did our first video, and we had to stand there lip syncing the song for like 20 hours. I'm not kidding, 20 hours, you know, and I love the song, but 20 hours, come on. And the makeup and lights and all this stuff in this thing, we just, somebody heard about these girls, these 2 actually really intense, gorgeous, blonde women from Texas, and the idea of the video is, well, these people, the camera crew is going to follow you around for a week. They're going to be with you everywhere. And then when they showed up, that's what made the video. It was like, oh, gee, as opposed to like, I don't know if there's a tech thing going on here, but it wasn't like a tech nerd thing or anything. It was actual gorgeous woman filming our videos, so that's why we look so good.
And then you saw the Robert Palmer video and you said, I know what we're doing next.
No, we'd like to have the girls on the other side of the camera.
I dated that band anyway.
Yeah,
there's nothing going on there.
You're about to go out on the road with Lou Reed. How do you feel about that?
Lou's great.
If New York had a flag, we'd fly it.
Yeah, it's the New York tour.
Yeah.
Did you say about New York?
Yeah. New York.
Flag?
It's like a flag.
Oh, a flag. Okay, I thought you said something else.
We saw him. We've been playing with him, and it's just so intense. And now we're going out for a whole month, where what we do is we ride around in a tour bus, then we get out and we do the rock and roll thing, and then we get like free beer and we watch Lou Reed. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, his band. We just played at the Ritz, and we watched the band, and the band is so tight and they're really powerful. And Lou he's so heavy. He stands there, and some rock dudes, they run around stage a lot, but Lou just commands the whole thing, the audience, the band, right from his spot. It's
like
great to
Little
watch.
Richard. Did you ever see him sing? A guy with a voice like that, he just stands there playing the piano. At any rate, we're going to move ahead. Prince on the way, Falco also. So we have had Manny and Eric Ambel from the Del Lords here in the studio. Watch for them on tour with Lou Reed.